Hello, hello, this is Clore132 bringing you guys the next episode of our Road to Fallout 3 where we will be modding more in our Fallout 3 Game of the Year edition. So let's get right into it, and the first mod that I am going to actually install today is CASM. So this is Cipscis Automatic Save Manager, or CASM for short. It changes Fallout 3's entire saving system, so no longer do you have like an auto save or a quick save that you have to fall back on. It cycles through several saves. You can choose how many and how often the game saves, and it basically will sit there and create, I think you have 3 profiles by default, and you can just save really at any time. You can have it save. It's total customization on when you can save, and we'll go through some of the options in game when I'm doing at the end of this, whenever I have my actual series begins and I'm changing my own personal settings for my playthrough. So I'm not really going to go over too much of the things in game. I will go in game and show you the main menu to it, and then maybe a couple of the basic options, but I won't really choose anything as like, nothing I set will be actually decided what I'm going to use during my playthrough. So, start off, you'll have to go to this site, our Nexus mods, and I will again, as always, links will be in the description below. And we'll go to the files page. And this right here is the only file we need, the CASM version 123. So all we need to do is hit the download with manager, and then you will have, obviously, your Nexus mod manager. Will go ahead and download it here. And again, as always, I already have all the mods that I'll be using downloaded and ready to go. I just have to install them and show you guys certain editing things that need done. So for CASM, all we have to do is the usual, just right here, activate the mod, and right there the mod was successfully activated. So CASM is now successfully installed, and in our plugins we have it right here, CASM. And it's okay for now. I'm not really going to worry too much on the load order. I'll get to that more when we have once we have to start getting into compatibility patches, like Fallout interoperability patches. Those have suggested load orders, which we will do that once we get to the point where we have got a decent amount of mods. So for now, we will go ahead and I will load up the game and I will show you guys what exactly CASM does in game. So be back in just a moment. Alright, and here we are in our megaton house for the current time, and I will just kind of show you guys, once you activate CASM, let's see, where is it? Aid, right here, the CASM options menu is what you're looking for. So you'll just left click that and then tab. Once you come out of your Pip-Boy, you'll have this, the Cipscis Automatic Save Manager. And you can have your quick save settings, so you can have it show the message whenever it saves manually, which is done by F4, I believe. Then we have the event saving, so all of these you can set it to save whenever any of these happens, or you can tell it, no, I don't want it to save when this happens. So you have total control over those. Auto saving, save interval, we can have it save this often. This is your interval. I generally use 5 minutes, but I may in my playthrough do 10, and then use F4 when I think something exciting or a possibility of death may occur. So I'm going to try to do my best not to die much, but, you know, it's sometimes unavoidable. And so we'll have all these options as well of whether or not you want the game to save in combat. So say it's coming close to the 5-minute mark, and then you get into combat. If you say that, yeah, you'll save in combat, and you are about to get shot, like if you get shot and it kills you 2 seconds after the game saves, you're probably going to have a problem keeping that save. You'll have to revert to a different one. So usually I don't have it set to save in combat. Minimum health percentage, so it will not save unless your health is at least so much percentage. And then your general settings are the number of saves. So you can have it cycle up to 50 saves, but I generally just do 5. And then also the current CASM profile, there is 3 profiles, so you can basically save up to 3 games that are controlled by CASM. So if say you use more than 3 games, you will need to actually either back up your save of one of these profiles or just untick CASM from when you load the game, or else you'll have to overwrite one of your games. It's basically saying using CASM, you can basically have 3 games saved at any one time. And so once you do save a couple times, you will get these right here: profile 1, save 2, 3, 4, 5, and if you go up to 50, yada yada yada. It just goes on for depending on how many saves you want it to cycle through. And what it does, it'll do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for me, and then once it hits this one, since I've got it set to where it'll only keep 5 saves, once it goes up 5 more minutes, save 1 will then be at the top, and it'll be overwritten. And then it'll overwrite save 2, then 3, then 4, then 5, then 1, then 2, then 3, so on and so forth, as the game passes. So that is actually all there really is to CASM, so we will go ahead and move on to our next mod, which will be NMC's texture pack. So we'll be right back, and I will show you NMC. Oh, and see, as you see, okay, CASM is saving. So now if I hit escape and then load, as you see right here, profile 1, save 1 is now at the top. No longer down here, it's been overwritten, it is right there. So, alright, now we will go ahead and quit out, and we will see you guys in just a minute for NMC's texture pack. Alright, here we are, back at NMC's texture pack now is where we are at for our next mod. So what this is, if you've ever noticed, you've seen the textures of the game, they are a little bit clean for a nuclear wasteland. The cars aren't too rusty, the doors are all nice and cleaned up. I'll show you guys this installed in a minute. So this thing, it's kind of a, it's basically just a massive, sort of like a mod pack, technically. But as it says right here, it does not cover the DLC. So this one, it really, all you'll get is the main capital wasteland will be done. DLC is not included in this pack. So we need to just go to files. And now if you go here, you'll see we have the large pack, the light pack, the maximum, the performance, and then also an uninstaller. Now, I know my computer, I know it can run the maximum pack, but I'm using the performance pack preferably because really there is no difference. The maximum pack is basically the only things you'll notice differently between the maximum and the performance pack is if you get up close in max. In maximum, you'll still see a lot of detail when you're staring at a door a quarter of a foot away. Performance, it's still there, but it's more obvious that it's less than the maximum pack. So in my opinion, honestly, the performance pack and the maximum pack are very, very similar. The performance pack is light years ahead of the default game textures anyways, and even the light pack, which is less than the performance pack, even the light pack is way better than the default game's textures. Originally, this thing used to be split up into several different files per pack, and we'd have to do this a bit differently, but since then, the mod author has actually combined them. Each one of these used to be like 4 or 5 parts, but the mod author has since combined everything into one giant file a piece. So I already have the maximum pack and the performance pack downloaded, so you'll want to download with Manager, whichever one you go for. So again, I'll be using the performance pack, and that will take you guys a while, depending on your internet speed. For me, it took a while, but I have crappy internet speed, so. Right here we are in Nexus Mod Manager. Where is it? NMCs, yeah. As you see, I have the maximum and the performance pack both downloaded, but I will be installing just the performance pack, and all we will do is just hit the activate the selected mod, and it'll prepare it. Now the preparing of the mod, this mod takes a little bit of time because of the size. It's a moderately large mod, basically because it overhauls pretty much every texture I think in the game. in the default game. So we just gotta wait for this to prepare and install. It takes a little bit, so we'll come back. I'll come back once it's a little bit closer instead of sitting here, ranting on about the pack. So we'll just be back once it's almost done. Alright, and as you see, we are finishing it up here. Installing is now completed, and we get our usual... Oh, there it is. Okay, there we are. There's our successfully activated. So now we'll go ahead and load up the game now that we have the pack installed. We'll go ahead and load up the game, and we'll look at the texture, just compare, and you guys have already seen a little bit of gameplay, so you'll be able to compare the Megaton house from what it was in the earlier part of this video to what it is going to be now that I have installed NMC's texture pack. So once we load up the game again, I will show you guys the differences. So, alright, be right back. Okay, and welcome to our new Megaton home with the NMC's pack. So as you can see, everything is totally different. This thing looks totally different. The door looks way more rusted and, way more detailed compared to the game. This locker looks a lot more paint-ridden. Even this thing, even the bobblehead stand, it looks even more like an older thing. Like it's nothing brand new. The workbench, as you can see, rust spots all over the workbench. It gives Fallout a lot more rustic.
How may I serve you, master? I really want to.
Shut up, Wadsworth. It gives it a lot more rustic. You're in an apocalypse wasteland kind of feel to it. So weapons, assault rifle. Pull that out there. As you can see, the assault rifle looks a little better, I believe. So yeah, it's all around, in my opinion. I think this is one of those must-have mods.
Welcome home, sir.
If you have a semi-high-end computer, to where you'll be able to run this texture pack. I think this is a must-have mod, just so you have more. It puts you more in feeling with the game, it being an actual apocalypse wasteland area. So, I didn't even realize I had a bottle cap mine there. Oh, okay, cool. So, alright, now that I've shown you this, we've got one more mod to cover in this video, and we'll do that in just a moment. So the final mod we'll be installing in this episode will be Fallout 3 Wanderers Edition. Now, Fallout 3 Wanderers Edition is a massive game overhaul. This changes a lot of stuff, and it has a couple requirements originally, but then we've got a couple resources that we can get with it, which we will cover in the next video. So, just to give you guys a little bit of an idea, some of the things that the game adds in: faster paced, more unforgiving combat, greatly improved survival aspects, injuries, loot rarity, more daily needs. So this does contain a real needs thing. You have to drink, eat, watch your rads a lot more carefully. It's a lot more, as it says, overall a more immersive game experience. Yes, it does a lot of that. It really makes you feel like you're actually having to survive. You're not just playing the game, not really caring too much for your ammo, because you'll find it everywhere. Ammo is a little bit of a rarity, honestly, and you can completely change the options in-game, which I'll go over some of them. Tagged skills, more important, I believe you get double points. I don't think that was default in the game. In default, or in vanilla, as we like to call it, unmodded, which is called vanilla. In vanilla Fallout 3, I don't think I think tagged ones you got like 15 extra points to it, and that was that. Then you just had to up it regularly. But with FWE, if you whatever skills you tag, if you give it 1 skill point, it'll grow by 2. So then combat VATS is a lot more balanced, so you'll actually take more damage in VATS instead of just going VATS all the time and being amazing and impossible to be hit. One of my favorite things is the grenade hotkey. So instead of having to actually like put your grenades on slot, like 1 through 8, you could just hit G and you'll throw a grenade. You can hold G and you'll go ahead and just say, "Here, have a grenade." Equipment, it's got new weapons, which I think I have a couple of them on my save, so I'll be able to show you a couple of those. Armors, a lot more equipment added in, tons of new chems and drugs are added into the game. If you get a crippled limb, it's a lot harder. A new healing system that uses a triage. There is a couple optional files, and it supports support for all DLC. New features and balance is all extended to the DLC content. And then we do have some support for some other mods, which we will be installing, but we'll have to get to that in a little while once we actually, these will matter later once we start installing the other mods. So let's just get into this. We'll go to our files. Now, right here we have a Part 1, a Part 2, and a patch are the main files. All of these must, I repeat, all of these must be downloaded with the manager. And then we'll be coming back to this later, but we are going to need the Darn UI support. But we'll come back to that once we throw Darn UI in. And again, we'll get to that later. So basically, you'll want to download with manager, download Part 1, then Part 2, and download the hotfix from it. And then another thing we are going to need, I don't know why, we didn't have this problem before, but when I first originally did this, I don't know, like a year or so ago, when I first got into this modding Fallout 3, we didn't need, there was no issues. You download it, activate these 3 things, you'd be fine. But for some reason, since then, either the mod author or something has gotten messed up in it, and we need now an extra thing called the Fallout 3 Edit Utilities. So this is, it's basically an editor for things. What we want is this one, the 3031 Experimental. You have to download this manually. And then you'll let's go ahead and I'll set it to download manually. I have it already installed, so you'll just want to download this manually, and also then download the other things for Fallout Wanderers Edition normally in the manager. So I'll wait for this thing to pop up here, and then we'll pop into the manager while this kind of gets prepared and everything. So alright, in the manager we have, if you've downloaded the 3 files I told you, ignore this one for now, I already have it downloaded. Again, I said we'll cover that later. We have the Fallout Wanderers Edition, Fallout Wanderers Edition Part 2 assets, and the hotfix. They're the 3 things we need right now. So let's go ahead and first just click on Fallout 3 Wanderers Edition, the original one, and you'll want to just hit activate the selected mod. It'll prepare the mod, and go ahead and set it. Let's check on this. Is this ready yet? No, it's not. I don't know what's going on. Why it's being so slow. But all you need to do is just download this and install this. I believe it's pretty much a natural program to install. Nothing really, it's like installing a regular program. Nothing, no files need to be thrown anywhere. You just gotta download that file and install it like a regular program. And I'll get to why we need that in just a moment here. So our Fallout 3 Wanderers Edition is being prepared. Now, if I remember right, the first one should come up with a box of options. Yep, here we are. The Fallout 3 Wanderers Edition setup. You get this whole thing here. So, core components, you have to have craft, you have to have caliber, you have to get the main file master and the main file plugin. Now, the DLC compatibility patches, I need all of them, obviously, since I have the Game of the Year edition, so you'll want to customize this based on which DLC you have. So if you don't have Broken Steel, you'll untick the DLC for Broken Steel, or the Pit, you'll untick it if you need to. But I need all of them. Now the follower plugins, Followers Enhanced, and then Broken Steel. I will go ahead and use this. This basically allows you to use a command headset to command your followers better than just, instead of having to talk to them, if they're kind of away from you, you can use the command headset to give them some better commands. And then we also have here some more optional plugins, which is the alternate travel mod. Instead of having fast travel, that'll be completely disabled. And instead you get a motorcycle in front of Megaton, which you can use, which I will definitely be using that, and we'll go over that once we're playing the game itself. So I will be using that. Then optional restore tracers. We all know how the guns in default, you can see the bullets. They're all tracer bullets. Every single bullet is a tracer. So you can see kind of where your bullets are hitting. With Fallout Wanderers Edition, it takes this away by default. But if you want, you could use one of these plugins to restore the bullets. I will do it only for automatics only, but I'm going to check this as well, just in case I decide to change my mind later. Then the optional, the VATS halftime. So VATS animations play in half real-time speed, and then or VATS real-time. I'm not going to use either one of these, because I'm not going to even really use VATS that much during my playthrough. I'm going to throw VATS. VATS' hotkey is going to be like a bracket or something nowhere near where my hands will be, because I don't really want to use VATS. In my opinion, I don't really like using VATS. With this, it makes me feel a little bit overpowered. So I'm not going to use VATS, either one of these. But I'll be checking these, but you only want one of them once you actually finish installing it. You only want one of these, but I'm checking them both so they'll appear, just in case I change my mind later. So you'll just want to hit install, and then it'll run through all of this, download all these things. Well, not download, but it'll install everything that you have chose based on what you've chosen. And Fallout 3 Wanderers Edition has been successfully installed. But if we run it, we'll still have issues right now, because we need part 2, the assets part. This is a requirement, so now when you pull this up, oh, okay, that's saying that Fallout Wanderers Edition Part 1 is fully activated. Now this, it says, a different version of FWB Fallout Wanderers Edition. Now this is the thing about the Nexus Mod Manager. It's noticing that we installed this one, the original Wanderers Edition. It does not see that this is a portion of the same mod. It would like to overwrite the other one. And we don't want to hit yes. We do not want to do this, because this will overwrite those files, and we don't want that this way. We want to hit no, so this will be a totally separately installed mod. So hit no, and it'll install it normally, like it does, the preparing mod and install. So just make sure you hit no on that first screen, and I believe it will come up with wanting to overwrite files, and that we do want to do is hit yes to all if it comes up with that. But I'm not for sure if it will or not. We'll find out. And then we'll be getting into the reason we need that Fallout 3 edit file that we downloaded a minute ago. Because for some reason, something, as I've said, has gone weird with Fallout 3 Wanderers Edition if you use the alternate travel. It's mainly if you use the alternate travel. If you don't choose to have alternate travel, I don't think this is going to affect you. So this part 2 was successfully activated. So now we have the 6.03 hotfix. Now here's what's going to happen. Normally, if we just, in the past, when I originally did this, if you were to activate the mod, it would activate, ask you to overwrite, say yes, it'd do it just fine. But for some reason, this is what happens now. Say we activate it, and again with this, it's again trying to say, oh, this is already installed. Is this an upgrade? So you just want to hit no. Select no to install the hotfix manually, or normally, and it'll prepare the mod. It has this, assault rifle fire thing that it wants to overwrite. A couple other things I think it's overwritten. Just hit yes to all. See, we get this right now. A problem occurred during install boss API error. Master files must load before other plugins. The mod was not installed. Now this is because originally, this right here, the alternate travel, this is an ESP and it's flagged as an ESP, but the problem is it, for some reason, needs to be flagged as an ESM. I don't know why this is like this or why the mod author has not changed this. It could be just because the mod author doesn't do anything with this, but this is something very simple to fix. It's just kind of annoying that we have to do this ourselves. So once you have downloaded and installed the Fallout 3 edit file that I had shown you guys previously, let me pull it up here. Fallout 3 edit, and it's, come on, just pull it, please. Okay, I guess it's under FO3 edit. No space. I don't even remember exactly. There we are. FO3 edit. So where do I have this? Oh, okay, yeah. It's just a basic installation. So right here is what you're looking for, your FO3 edit. Yes, it has the Skyrim thing here too, there's a Skyrim version for this. I don't know why it's on the FO3 edit, but whatever. And you'll want to right click and run as an administrator. And so hit yes there. And then master plugin selection, just leave all of this checked and hit OK. So then it'll load up all of your ESMs, your ESPs into this so we can edit what we need. So it pulls up all these, and now the one we are looking for is right here. The Fallout 3 Wanderers Edition alternate travel.esp. This is what we're looking for. You want to hit the little plus sign over here, and then you want to kind of wait for this to say background loader finished here, but alright, now that it's done, you'll want to go over here, hit the plus sign next to the Fallout 3 Wanderers Edition alternate travel, and hit file header. So, and again, we see a lot of stuff, just like before when we were playing with the Fallout 3 executable. We don't want to touch a lot, we're just needing to change one thing, and that is the file header of the alternate travel ESP. You want to go to record flags, click here, you want to right click and hit edit. And you'll get this, you're about to edit a module file. If you have the slightest doubt about what the implications, you shouldn't be doing it. Are you sure you want to continue? You'll wait and just say, yes, you're sure. Just follow my lead. All you want to do is right here, this top one, ESM. Just give it a check mark. Make sure just the ESM is checked. Hit OK. And then all we want to do is close, and then save to changed files, and then it should just have this unless you played around with the other stuff, which if you did, I would suggest not doing so. But if you know what you're doing and you're wanting to customize it the way you are, I don't know about any of this stuff. I don't play with that thing. I just do what I need to get the mod to work correctly. So we just want to leave that checked and say, yes, save the file, so hit OK. It'll close out, and now we have to reload our Nexus Mod Manager with Fallout 3. So we'll reload Nexus Mod Manager. Oh, there's this. Okay, yeah, so here's this. You'll save this, extract it, and then I think you have to install it, but I'm not going to do that. Because as you saw, I already have it installed. So now Nexus Mod Manager has, as you see, it's moved up the alternate travel to right here, and it says right here, warning, this plugin file has an extension of ESP, but its file header marks it as an ESM. We want that to do this. We want this up here, but right below the main file ESM. So now we're going to do a little bit of, well, actually, never mind, we don't have to do that either. As you can see, it's already customized this correctly. Let's see, anchorage, I make sure it stays in line with this right here. So anchorage, pit, steel, lookout, zeta, and then I only want automatics only. I only want my automatics. My pistols and semi-autos, I don't want to have the tracers, just automatics. So now we'll go ahead and launch the game, and I will show you guys a little bit of what Fallout Wanderers Edition includes, and then we will move on to the next set of mods in the next episode. So we'll see you guys in just a minute. Really quickly, I almost forgot. After we did that with the Fallout 3 edit, I forgot to mention, now we can go ahead and install the hotfix. So, hey, it's hitting no there. Prepares mod, yes to all. Mod successfully activated. Alright, there we go. Now, into game. Okay, and here we are once again in game. And if we immediately hit tab, already we can see in apparel, you should have a command headset, an FWE control panel, and triage. Now let's see, does it have, yeah, as you can see, I have some other weapons already from previously before I had uninstalled everything just to start showing this off. So, like, the weapon I currently have is the Colt 45 pistol, and I'll be changing this to where I will have iron sights on everything pretty soon, but as you can see, you know, nice pistol. And one of the things with FWE, if you get close to workbench, this is one of the options we'll go over later on. Just to get started here, I don't think anything else is added in besides those right now. Miscellaneous. Oh, ammo supply. Ammo has weight now in this game, and bullet time. So let's see, I think it went that down. For me, I use V. It slows down time. basic things. Let's see, like triage. As says, you can use the stim pack to restore a small amount of health on limb. Hit boy away. I don't need any of these because I'm fully healed up. And then the FWE control panel has all this, some presets and defaults, some character settings, damage and combat, loot settings, immersion, features, the primary needs configuration, the abilities and hotkeys, menus, supported mod configs such as MMM, which we will get to that. But this, see, I have followers enhanced optional module here. So let's see, we can change how your maximum amount of followers is calculated. I pretty much will probably go with unlimited, most likely. Just so I can have... I'm either going to do that or I'm going to do that. I may do FWE, but I may also do the unlimited follower. I'm not 100% sure. Or I might even do this. This one I haven't really tweaked with this before too much, but I'll decide over the course of some time. So we'll go over all of these in depth later on. And then my command headset, I just hit tab. I see I have Dogmeat as my only follower right now, so I can tell Dogmeat, even though he's not even in here, I can tell him to go find weapons and all this kind of stuff for me, and he'll go do that right now. I think we'll just try this. Find ammo, and then if I exit, if I step outside, he should no longer be like right here. He should now probably be gone because he's out finding the ammunition. Come on, come on, come on, game load. Yeah, okay, yeah, as you can see, now he's taking off. See, he's going to find some ammunition for me. So, alright. So that's some basic overview. We'll go more in depth with the options later on. But there's a lot of them, and we'll just continue on in the next episode where I will probably show you guys Mart's Mutant mod, and maybe another couple of my small ones that I'll throw in. I'm not 100% sure. Oh, look, you can see Dogmeat over there. There he is. Glitching. Alright, we'll see you guys in the next episode. If you have enjoyed, please leave a like, make a comment, and subscribe to the channel for more. If you have not already, and if you already have, thank you so much for watching and supporting me. And we will see you all in the next episode. Have a great day. Bye-bye.